This is Standing Watch. And now, Evangelist Norbert Link.
Greetings, everyone, and welcome to our Standing Watch program. The relationship between the United Kingdom and the European power bloc is getting worse and worse, and there are reasons for that. At the same time, the United Kingdom is descending into I would call it an abyss, an economic, political abyss. And the European Union, at least core nations of the European Union, will become more and more powerful and strong in accordance with biblical prophecy. And there's also a reason for that. Now, to begin with, I'd like to quote to you from an article by Money Marketing, because people have been saying, oh, the European project is failing, has failed, more and more nations will leave the EU, and the euro is going to disseminate, it will fail, it will not succeed. Now, we have never told you that. We have always told you the opposite. And now, more and more voices can be heard, experts, quote unquote, who are second-guessing that original thought and who are saying, no, wait a minute, it looks like Europe is going to stay and the euro is going to stay. Here's this article by Money Marketing dated May 28. It now appears highly unlikely that the eurozone will collapse by accident. We have the biggest players, Germany, France, Spain, and Italy, basically agreeing to the principle of burden sharing on the fiscal side. So we are not saying that the Eurozone as it consists today of all those nations will survive, but core nations will, and the Euro will. And that is prophesied in the Bible. At the same time, it is also prophesied that Germany will become the dominant power again in Europe as a strong and mighty power. And here we have an article by Politico, dated May 30, saying this: forget Make America Great Again, here comes Make Europe Strong Again. The German government has settled on Gemeinsam Europa wieder stark machen, which translates into English as Together Making Europe Strong Again, as its slogan for the country's upcoming presidency of the Council of the EU, which kicks off on July 1. The logo is meant to symbolize joint action emerging from the EU's diversity again and again. We make it clear that the European Union is very united and that it will not be possible to break individual countries out of the unity, German Foreign Minister Heiko Josef Maas said. And so, yes, Germany is going to become strong and great again, while the UK is not going to be part of it. And the UK is not going to be strong again. The alienation between these two power blocks is becoming more and more manifest. BBC News wrote on May 19. Europe's economic problems will not force the EU to make more concessions to the UK over Brexit or any trade deal, the French Finance Minister Bruno Le Maire has said. I think this economic crisis will lead to the reinforcement of the EU, will lead to more solidarity among member states, and we are not ready to make concessions that might jeopardize the EU construction. Now, in light of this comment, listen carefully to what Deutsche Welle wrote on June 4. If no progress is made this month, a no-deal Brexit looks inevitable. Is it possible that's because of, rather than in spite of, the coronavirus crisis? A no-deal Brexit perpetually loomed at a distinct and disastrous possibility. A one-year transition period up until December 1 meant that 2020 was to be the year in which the truly hard yards were finally walked. Then, as if by the design of some demonic deity. The worst global pandemic in a century struck. It has hit the EU and Britain especially hard. The no-deal scenario is back, except this time in a more permanent form. Even before the hit, optimism was extremely low on the EU side that anything substantial could be agreed with the UK in such a short time frame. If the British don't request an extension to the transition period by the end of this month, the month of June, and if, as appears to be inevitable at this point, no free trade agreement is in place by the end of the year, then on December 31, 2020, the UK will no longer have any formal trading relationship with the EU. Under WTO rules, it will become a so-called third country. COVID-19 has restricted the negotiations in terms of physical movement and also in terms of mental movement. The crisis has commanded vast amounts of attention and resources that otherwise might have been directed towards the EU-UK talks. Now, I found the statement that this was by design of some demonic deity quite interesting. But it could have been better voiced as it was by design of Satan. Now, of course, Satan does want to be worshipped. He is called the God of this world in the Bible. And so many people don't realize that the pandemic and the reactions towards the pandemic are of Satan's design. It all has contributed to the destruction, especially of the United Kingdom, and also, for that matter, the United States. Now, why is that so? Because this is a time of Satan's wrath, as we read in the Bible, and this wrath is directed towards the United States and the United Kingdom, and specifically Great Britain. The alienation between Europe and the United Kingdom will continue up to the point where Satan will bring about the manifestation of a very powerful, charismatic leader in Europe. And he will be leading core nations. And when that happens, an outright war is going to take place between the EU, these core nations, and the United Kingdom, and also the United States. And Europe will win. The UK and the USA will lose. That is clearly prophesied, but all of that is instigated by Satan the devil, because Satan has a great wrath against the United Kingdom and the United States. Now, we have prepared a free booklet in case you don't want to believe me. It's called The Fall and Rise of Britain and America. And this free booklet tells you very clearly from the pages of the Bible why what I am telling you right now is absolutely true. But within this mayhem, this disaster, this destruction, there is good news. And so we have also prepared another booklet. How can we know that Christ's return is near? Because the Bible tells you, when you see all these things happening, of which I have been speaking today, these are signs for the soon coming return of Jesus Christ. Most people have no idea as to what to look for. They talk about Christ could come back any day, tonight. No, he cannot. There are certain things which have to happen. But at the same time, people have been telling you all the time that Christ is going to come back soon, and they have always been wrong. Here, we are telling you from the pages of the Bible as to why now it's different. And you need to know these things, and I hope you are spreading the word in the sense that you might want to share this program with others. Far too few people are listening to it, because I hate to tell you, that most people in the United States of America and Great Britain are terribly asleep, oblivious to what is going to happen very soon. It's going to be a rude awakening, a terrible, disastrous awakening for them, when those times which I have been talking about today will clearly come to pass. So I thank you for tuning in, and I like to welcome you back next time. And until that time, this is Norbert Link for the Standing Watch program.
Standing Watch is a presentation by The Church of the Eternal God, P.O. Box 270519, San Diego, California 92198. More information is also available at our website, eternalgod.org.